Hello student, myself Digant Sakhiwala, I am your science sir. Today we will continue chapter number 3, metals and non-metals. Dear student, we are going to learn about the chemical properties of non-metal. Last time we learned about the physical property of metal, physical property of non-metal. Today we will learn about chemical properties of non-metal as well as ionic compound. Okay. Chemical properties of non-metal. Non-metal forms either acidic or neutral oxide with oxygen. So most of the non-metals are acidic in nature. When non-metals react with oxygen, then they make the non-metal oxide, and when non-metal oxide are dissolved in the water, they make the acidic solution. Okay, not all, few are neutral in character. Okay, example, sulfur is non-metal, it react with oxygen, it make the sulfur dioxide. This sulfur dioxide react with the water, it make the sulfurous acid. Okay, and by other reaction, sulfurous acid convert into sulfuric acid. Okay, so from sulfur we get the sulfuric acid. So non-metal oxides are acidic in nature. One example. Second example, nitrogen react with oxygen during lightning, it make the nitrogen dioxide. This nitrogen dioxide is dissolved in the water in rainy season, it make the nitrous acid, then nitric acid. Okay, and nitric acid is acidic in nature. So again we can say that non-metal oxide are acidic in nature. Same way we have carbon react with oxygen, makes the carbon dioxide. This carbon dioxide dissolved in the water, make the carbonic acid. Okay, again we can see that carbon is non-metal, carbon dioxide is non-metal oxide, and it gives the carbonic acid that is acidic in nature. Dear student, few compounds are there, few non-metal oxide are there, they are neutral in character, and it is most important for the exam. Okay, water, carbon monoxide, and 2O are the neutral oxide. This you have to remember. We also remember that aluminium and zinc are amphoteric in nature. Amphoteric in nature means what? They have both the type of property, acidic as well as basic. Non-metals do not react with water to evolve hydrogen gas. They do not react with acid either. Okay, dear student, in water, hydrogen has positive charge. So hydrogen need electron. Suppose someone give electron to the hydrogen, then hydrogen gas is produced. Okay, so metals are there, they have tendency to give the electron to the hydrogen in the water, so hydrogen gas is produced. But in the case of non-metal, they have no tendency to lose the electron, they have tendency to give the gain the electron. So non-metal have no tendency to give the electron to the hydrogen present in the water, so hydrogen gas is not produced when the non-metal react with the water. Okay, and they do not react with the acid either, they also not react with the acid either. Only reason is that most of the non-metal oxide they make the acid, so acid and acid reaction in some condition not possible. Okay, in any reaction one compound is acidic and another compound is basic, then and the reaction take place. Or we can say that one compound is undergoing oxidation reaction, another compound is undergoing reduction reaction, then and then the reaction will take place. Reaction of metals and non-metals. Dear student, we can also compare here the reaction between acid and base. Okay, the reactivity of element depend upon their tendency to attain completely filled valence shell. Okay, so always we have to remember that metals are there in that outermost orbit contain less than 4 electron. Okay, so to complete octet they lose the electron. Okay, whereas non-metals are there in their outermost orbit, how many electrons are there? More than 4 electrons are there, so they cannot lose the electron, but they have tendency to gain the electron. Okay, so by gaining electron, non-metal complete the octet, whereas in the case of metal, by losing the electron they complete the octet. Okay, one thing is exception, that is what? Helium. Helium, in that 2 electron is present in outermost orbit, and most of the gases are there, like noble gases are there, inert gases are there, helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon. In that outermost orbit 88 electrons are there, and because of that reason they have not tendency to lose the electron or gain the electron, so they are so much not reactive. Noble gases have completely filled valence shell. Okay, so here we will take example of one metal and other non-metal. As a metal we will take sodium and non-metals we take chlorine. Okay, Dear student, you can also use few words as a synonym like cell and orbit. Okay, cell, in that first cell, first orbit K, second orbit, second cell, that is L, third orbit, third cell, that is M. Okay, sodium is 11, so you already learned in 9th standard electronic arrangement is 281. Okay, so outermost orbit contain less than 4 electron, then it has tendency to lose the electron. It has no tendency to gain the electron, it has tendency to lose the electron, and by losing the electron it get to 8. 8 is what? Octet. It complete the octet. Okay, same way chlorine is a non-metal, so these are the reaction between metal and non-metal. Chlorine is 17, 287. Okay, M cell, in that 7 electrons are there. Last orbit contain more than 4 electrons, so it has not tendency to lose the electron, it has tendency to gain the electron, and by gaining the electron it complete the octet, so it is 288. Okay, so by losing the electron sodium complete the octet, and by gaining electron chlorine complete the octet. This is called chlorine and this one is called chloride. Okay, so here Na has 1 electron in outermost orbit and chlorine has 7 electron in outermost orbit, that we represent by cross 1 2 3 4 5 6 and 7. To complete octet, chlorine need 1 electron, so it take the 1 electron of sodium. Okay, and because of that reason they make the bond, and chlorine is electronegative element, so it take the pair of electron towards its side, so chlorine is become a negative. Okay, chlorine is become here negative, sodium lose the electron, so sodium is become a positive. This type of bond is that is called ionic bond. Dear student, we are going to learn about magnesium also. Magnesium is metal and chlorine is again non-metal. So what reaction take place? Magnesium is 12. We can write 282. Outermost orbit contain less than 4 electron. So it has tendency to lose the electron. So by losing the electron, Mg2 plus ion is formed plus 2 electron. Now by losing the 2 electron, it complete the octet here. Same way in the case of chlorine, 2877 electrons are there. It is more than 4 electron, so it has tendency to gain the electron. Okay, and by gaining the electron it complete the octet 288. Now magnesium has 2 electron, that 2 electron we represent by dot here, and chlorine has 7 electron in outermost orbit, that we represent by the cross. So here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Same way here 1 2 3 4 5 6 7. Both the chlorine need 1 electron, so they share the 1 electron of magnesium and another electron of magnesium, and chlorine is electronegative element, so it take the pair of electron towards its side. So Mg lose the electron. How many electron it lose? 2 electrons, so Mg2 plus, and chlorine gain the 2 electrons, so it make the Cl minus. So 2 Cl minus, because of that reason its charge is -2. 1 Cl has -1 charge. The compound formed in this manner by the transfer of electron from a metal to a non-metal are known as ionic bond, or it is also called the electrovalent compound. So the electron exchange between the cation and anion and bond is formed, that is called ionic bond, or it is called electrovalent bond, or we can say that the attraction between cation and anion is called the ionic bond. Okay, hello student, we are going to learn properties of ionic compound. Dear student, in that we will discuss about the physical nature, melting and boiling point, and solubility, conduction of electricity. Okay, so one by one we will learn all properties of ionic compound. Physical nature. Ionic compounds are solid and are somewhat hard because of the strong force of attraction between positive ion and negative ion. So ionic compounds are solid in form, like NaCl, sodium chloride, solid in form. Okay, and they are hard. Why they are hard? Because the attraction between positive ion and the negative ion. Okay, that is called the strong electrostatic force. Compounds are brittle and break into pieces when pressure is applied. So compounds are brittle, means when we apply high pressure or high force, it break down, okay, into the small pieces. Melting and boiling point. Dear student, a temperature at which solid compound is converted to liquid form at constant pressure, that is called melting point. What is called boiling point? A temperature at which liquid compound convert into gaseous form at constant pressure, that is called the boiling point. Okay. Ionic compound have high melting point and boiling point. This is because considerable amount of energy required to break the strong interionic attraction. Okay. We already discussed that ionic bond in that strong bond is present. Why this bond is strong? Because it is a very strong bond because of the positive ion and the negative ion. Okay. And because of this strong interionic attraction, it is not easily converted into solid to liquid, so melting point is high, or it is not easy to convert liquid into the gaseous form, so their boiling point is also high. Solubility. Electrovalent compounds are generally soluble in water and insoluble in solvents such as kerosene, petrol, etc. Now dear student, always remember one thing, like dissolve like. Okay. Ionic compounds are always dissolved in the ionic compounds, or polar compound is dissolved in the polar compounds. Okay. Now you think that what is polar compound and ionic compound? Polar compound means the compound which has charge, positive and negative charge. Okay. We will take one example of NaCl. NaCl, in that Na has plus charge and Cl has minus charge. When we dissolve in the water, it is easily dissolved. Only reason is that water is also polar, H plus and OH minus. Okay. So always ionic compound or polar compound is dissolved in the polar compound, whereas kerosene, petrol, diesel, oil, they are covalent compound. Covalent compound are those which will not exchange the electron. Ionic compound are exchange the electron and they make the positive ion and negative ion, whereas covalent compound are share the electron, and by sharing the electron they complete the octet. Okay, so they are a non-polar compound, they have no charge. So when we try to dissolve NaCl in the petrol, kerosene and diesel, sodium chloride or salt is not dissolved in the petrol, kerosene and diesel. Only reason is that salt is the polar compound, whereas the petrol, kerosene and diesel, that is a covalent compound or it is a non-polar compound. Okay. Conduction of electricity. So dear student, you have to remember few words, few terminology like electrolyte. A solution which can pass electric current, that is called electrolyte. Okay, to pass current we need two electrode. Now you think that what is electrode? Okay, electrode is a metal or non-metal on which reduction and oxidation reaction occur, that is called electrode. Okay, if oxidation reaction occur, then that is called anode, and if reduction reaction occur, then that is called the cathode. Okay. The conduction of electricity through a solution involves movement of charged particles. So why electricity is passed from the solution? Because these particles are positive ion and negative ions are continuously moving in the solution. Okay, and because of that reason we can pass the electricity from the solution. A solution of an ionic compound in water contains ion which move to the opposite electrodes when electricity is passed through the solution. Okay, dear student, we think that we take NaCl into the water. Now in the water, now this NaCl is separated. Na became Na plus and Cl is became a Cl minus, and they are moving inside of that. Na has positive charge, okay, and it need electron Na plus, so it is attracted towards the cathode. Cathode has negative charge, so reduction reaction occur. Same way when we take chlorine, chlorine is in the solution, okay, and chlorine want to donate the electron. Chlorine has one electron extra, so chlorine is attracted towards a positively charged anode. Okay, and because of that reason the reaction occur. Ionic compound in the solid state do not conduct electricity because movement of ions in the solid state not possible due to rigid structure. Most important thing is that ionic compounds in the liquid form, okay, or in the soluble form, they can pass electricity because ions can move, cations and anions can move, positive ion and negative ions can move, but they are in the solid form. Suppose we take NaCl, okay, in the solid form, then it cannot pass electricity because the Na plus and Cl minus cannot move. Okay, in metals electric current is easily passed. Metals are solid in form, but metals in that free electrons are present because of the low ionization energy. Here free electrons are totally not present. Okay, This is possible in molten state since the electrostatic force of the attraction between the oppositely charged ions are overcome due to heat. So it is also possible in molten state. It is possible in the liquid state as well as it is possible in molten state. So when we melt the ionic compound, their ionic charges are separated. Cation and anions are separated, and because of that reason, when ionic compounds are melt, at that time it can pass electric current because electrostatic force. Electrostatic force means the force exists between the positive ion and negative ion, cation and anion, that is decreased. Why? Because when any compound is converted into liquid form, so their intermolecular force is decreases, so distance is increases, so it can conduct the electricity. Thus the ion moved freely and conduct the electricity, and as the ions can move easily, it can conduct the electricity. So this is all about the properties of ionic compound. Thank you so much.